Hi everyone, I am KAUSTUBH Sharma, AWS Certified Solution Architect and Developer, your multi-cloud DevOps guy. Thanks for all your response and support on the previous video. If you haven't checked out my previous videos, please go out and check them. I have videos on several topics like Kubernetes, AWS, Azure, GCP, Terraform, Jenkins, and other cloud and DevOps topics. So AWS budgets are used to track your cost and usage information and take several actions based on that information. We can set custom budget alarms that will alert you whenever your cost and usage, utilization, or the coverage of your saving plans and RIs, that is reserved instances, exceeded your budget amount. The creation of an AWS budget is a very important task and it should be done immediately after the creation of your root AWS account. In the last video, I have shown you guys step by step how to create an AWS free account. If you haven't watched that video, I will provide the link in the description as well as in the I button.
So let's search for the AWS console login. And here you can see the AWS Management Console URL, aws.amazon.com/console. So let's go to that. So it will take us to the login page of AWS Management Console and just click on this log back in button. So AWS Management Console is the page from where you can manage all the AWS services. So right now we are on the sign in page of AWS, and here you can see two options are available. One for the root user, which is like a super admin account, and as stated here, it is used by the account owner that performs tasks requiring unrestricted access. I strictly suggest you that you use it for this billing purpose only. We will create an IAM user for that for our daily task, as stated here as well, that it is for the users with an account that performs daily tasks. So just now only I created my root user account. So once I will create an IAM user, I will not use this root user, as it is also advisable by AWS that you should always use IAM user for your task, not your root user, because it can give you unlimited access, which can affect the security of all your resources in AWS cloud. So let's start entering our root user email address. So let me enter that. Then click on next. Now they are asking for the password. Just enter it. Click on sign in. And it will take us to the home screen of the AWS Management Console page. And you can see I'm on the Mumbai region. And here is my username. So it is the same screen which we are in the AWS creation video. So you can watch that if you want to know how to create this root user account. And I will show the how to create an IAM user in the next video. So you can check that videos as well. So here you can see there are different options available. So we are here for the AWS budget service. So let's quickly jump to that. So you can click Alt as keyboard shortcut, or you can directly go to this search bar. Always whenever you try to go new service, you can go to this search bar and search that. Make this as a habit. Whenever you want to go to any service, always go through this search bar. This will make your things easy. So let me search for AWS budget. So you can see this option, AWS budget. It is used to set custom budgets and receive alerts, as we already discussed. So we are going to use it to monitor if we are going over our free TL limit. And if we go above our free TL limit, then we will get an email alert. So let's see how to set up that. So you can mark it as a favorite as well. Then it will start appearing in your quick access toolbar. So you can see here it started appearing. So I have a habit of searching it directly, so I don't need this quick access bar because I use many services, so there will be bunch of services. So let's go to this. We are on the home screen page of AWS budget, and it says that it is used to set custom budget that alerts you when you exceed your budgeted threshold. So for me, I always keep my budgeted threshold as $0 because I don't want to spend a single penny. So we will keep our threshold as low as possible. So, and here you can see how it actually works. So we need to create a budget, and we have to put our threshold. What is our threshold? We are going to put it as low as possible. We will be notified according to that. and we can respond based on that notification, and we can also set up automatic actions, so which will be taken whenever we cross any threshold. Just like in our case, whenever we cross any free tier limit, then that action will be taken. So we will see more about it. So in addition to budget monitoring, we can add actions to our budget to control IAM and service control policy permissions for our organization, as well as we can control the AWS resources whenever the thresholds are exceeded. So let's continue. So we are just basically doing it so we not have to overspend our money. And here you can see the pricing as well, that there is no additional charge for using AWS budgets. So it's a totally free service. But and always remember this, don't go only on the first line, that you only pay for the configured action that go beyond the free tier offer of 62 action enabled budget days. Means if you set up any automatic actions, we can use that action for the 62 days only. And after that, your first two action enabled budgets are free, means regardless of the numbers of action, you can put that in budget. So first two budgets will be free for you per month. And after that, each subsequent action enabled budget will cost you around $0.10 after that. So be aware of that. So I suggest you don't use any automated action because you might forget and it will start costing you heavily because it has a $0.10 budget daily cost. Okay. We will see it anyways. I can show you that, but I strictly suggest you don't to enable that AWS budget action. Okay. So let's start. You can also set up auto adjusting budgets, which is a new feature of AWS budget, which will dynamically change the budget amount based on the baseline you defined. Here you can see it is for the tracking our AWS cost and uses, and it allows to create budget, forecast spend, and take action on our cost and uses from a single location. As you can see as well, the above region has changed to the global because this AWS budget is a global service. Means you can set up the custom budget for every location from this single page. So let's go and click this create a budget. So as just now only I created my account. So you can see it is saying that budget creation limited because Cost Explorer is not enabled this for this account, and the AWS budget does not have access to your billing data. Okay. So this limits the creation of some type of budgets. To enable this option, you can either create a budget or you can enable the Cost Explorer, and these changes can take up to 24 hours to effect. So you can see the UI of AWS is very simple. Even if you don't know anything, if you know just the English, then you can easily navigate it through. It's a very simple UI. I just want to create a budget for my course. So whenever I cross my free tier, I will get an alert. So that's come under the course budget, and it is also recommended and it is also enabled. And you can see it is for the monitoring our cost against a specific dollar amount. So click on next, and you can see because Cost Explorer isn't enabled for this account, you won't be able to view or filter your historical data while creating a budget because but I don't this is a new account for me, so I don't have any historical data. And after creating a budget, Cost Explorer will be automatically enabled, and it will take up to 24 hours to populate all your data. Okay, so here also every step is given that how you can create a budget. That first we need to enter our budget details, then we have to enter the budget amount, and then we have to provide the scope. Means what type of data we want under this budget, means what number of services you want to count in this. Just like I want AC2 to cost me only $1, then we can set up according to that also. Okay. So that is the scope of my budget, that it is for only EC2. But I am setting here for the whole account because I don't want to spend a single penny. So let me name my budget. So name should be between 1 to 100 character. So I will name it as AWS total budget. So whenever I receive a mail from AWS, it will be under this heading AWS total budget. So I will be informed about that I have crossed my free tier limit. So next step will to set up a budgeted amount. So here you can see, you can select the period. This limit, what you are putting, it is for the monthly limit or daily limit or quarterly or annually. So you can select that. So we will remain it as whatever it is defaultly, that is monthly. And you can select the budget renewable type as recurring budget. It is also selected as defaultly. So it will renew on the first day of every month. And you can also choose the expiring budget, which will expire after you set the end month, and it will automatically going to stop that budget. The start month will be defaultly selected as your current month. So whenever you're creating budget, you can select any. So under the budgeting method, where fixed is selected as defaultly, in which I can enter the budgeted amount. I am going to put as low as possible, which is the 0.01 value for AWS. But first we will try with the 0.00. I know it is not going to accept it, but let's try with it because AWS keep changing. So let's see. And let's come to our next step, which is budget scope. So here the scope options are available. If you want to filter any specific dimension of the AWS, then you can select that. Just like I given an example as well that you can select AWS EC2, then it will track only EC2 cost. But AWS also recommended for the root user that you can track all the AWS services under your budget, and you can aggregate your cost as well. You can put the default one and just click on next. So you can see we have got an error that review the errors below and try again. So let's go to that, and it is saying budgeted amount must not be zero. So if you are thinking that we can put it in like 0.000001, so we can try that as well. But I have checked it many times, so let's check it again. So if you just click on this, then also we also receive an error again, and it is saying that budgeted amount must not be zero. So if you put it 0.01, then only it's going to accept it is the minimum amount. So let's click on next, and you can see we are on the next screen. So here also it is showing that how the budget alerts will work. Here it is showing why we need to create the budget alerts, because in order to be notified on the same state of your budget, you can create up to 5 different alerts based on your budgeted amount. For example, we can create an alert to notify ourselves when we have reached the 75% of our budgeted amount. So we have set up the budgeted amount. Now we are going to set up the budget alerts. So you can see it is showing me the budgeted amount, that is budgeted amount is $0.01. On a single budgeted amount, you can set up to 5 different alerts with a single AWS budget. If you are okay with to spend some amount, then you can spend according to that. So let's click on add an alert. And here you can see this is alert number one, alert hashtag one is scam. So total you can add up to 5 alerts. Let's set the alert threshold. So when should I want this alert to be triggered? I will select as 100%. So whenever this, because I already set up is very low, 0.01. So whenever my cost will become greater than this $0.01, then this alert threshold will be exceeded and it will trigger this alert. Here you can select how you want this alert to be triggered based on the actual cost or on the forecasted cost. I want to be triggered on the actual cost. Forecasted means it AWS predict itself and it will alert you. But I am going to use the actual trigger, actual cost trigger. So let's select that. It is also selected by default. And here you can see summary as well, that when your actual cost is greater than 100% of your budgeted amount, that is $0.01, the alert threshold will be exceeded. And here you can enter your mail ID in the email recipient box. So these whatever email IDs you put here, they will be notified whenever the threshold is exceeded. So the maximum numbers of email address you can put here is up to 10. and you can set up to 5 alarms here. So you can notify individually 50 email IDs. 50 individual IDs you can notify by a single AWS budget. And in organization, we have DS, which means a group of email address. So we can use that as well. So basically, it won't be a problem for you, this limit. So we can go ahead, and there is an option of Amazon SNS alert. So Amazon SNS is a Amazon notification service, and you can see information about that is given, that it has no upfront cost, means we don't need to pay anything advance. For the SNS, we only need to pay for the number of messages we are going to deliver, and any additional APIs call we are going to, if you are managing any topic or any subscription, then we can put that. If you want to know more about SNS, then you can comment below. I will make a video on this. And there is an option of Amazon chatbot alerts as well. So which will let you send the alerts to the Amazon Chime service or the Slack chat rooms. If you have any Slack account, then you can send the alerts to that as well. But for this also, you need to enable the Amazon SNS service as well. But again, all these alerts will include the cost as well. So I'm not going to use it. I am just creating it for the my free tier account. So I will use my email address only. And here you enter down below, you can see this option of add alert threshold. So as I said, you can add up to 5 alerts. So we can create that. You can see if I click on that, then alert 2 will come. So I can set it up for 90% or 75%. Whenever that will happen, I will receive that alert as well. If you want to put that, then go ahead. I'm just putting it for the 100% because our amount is very basically low. So I just click on that and I will delete this. So let me remove this alert. So click on remove, then click on next. So the last option, as we know, is to attach action, as we see on the homepage of AWS Budget as well. So here also you can see it is a very simple UI of AWS where you can see each thing, what it represent, what this page represent. So here you can see that what is in budget action. If you want to read it, then you can read it. I already told you, but it's an optional step. I already told you it can cost you money. So be aware of that as well. So let's click on action if you want to create that. Also, if you are going to create the action, then it will require specific IAM permission. So it will take that. And if you don't have that permission, then it will not be able to configure this action. But as I already in the root user account, it has already all the permission. So I will not face any issue. And if you want to go ahead, then you can select the IAM role as well. That is AWS service role for support. And you can select the different options. If you want to attach IAM policy whenever this limit has crossed, or you want to attach any service control policy, which is usually on the organization level, or if you can use it to automate the instance to stop for EC2 or RDS, as we discussed in our example as well. So if you want to use it, then you can select that. If you want to stop whenever this free tier alert will be notified, then there are two options available. What do you want to do is you want to stop the EC2 instance or stop the RDS. Then you can select this. You can then choose your region in which your EC2 is. So I'm in Bombay region, then you can select this, and then you can choose your EC2 or RDS instance, whatever you selected above. As I recently created this account, so I don't have any EC2 or RDS instance now. But if you have already created it, then you can choose it from here and select it. Then whenever you cross that budget amount, and it will be notified, and based on that alert, it will stop your EC2 or RDS, whatever you have selected. So this will also be a cool feature, but it can cost you money if you go over the specified limit, which we already talked. So I will not use this action. So let me remove this action and just click on next. So here is the preview of our AWS budget, which we are going to create. So first is the budget type. So we have chosen the cost budget. So because we want to monitor our cost against a specific amount. And the second step is to set up our budget, where we have named it, we have the starting date, and we have set up our budget amount. We have set up the period as well. The additional budget parameters, we can see by which method we have aggregated our costs. We aggregated it by unblended cost. We haven't changed anything in that. It includes the upfront reservation fees, recurring reservation charges, other subscription costs, taxes, support charges, discounts as well, and it is exclude the refund and credits, which are the amount which I received from the AWS. So it is excluded from that. It is already defaultly selected when we choose to aggregate it by the unbranded post. And third step is to configure alerts. So we have configured one alert that whenever the 100% of my budgeted amount has got crossed based on the actual cost, I will be notified to my mail. And last step is optional to attach the actions. I haven't attached any action, so there is none. You can edit from here as well if you want to edit it any particular step. So it started creating the budget, and quickly it has created my budget, AWS total budget. My budget got created successfully, and it is saying that after creating a budget, it can take up to 24 hours. You can see my budget is there, and it is in the OK state under the threshold. So means there is nothing to worry about. And here you can see the budgeted amount as well. In practical word, if you are working, if you want to send this AWS budget to your client, then you can download this CSV, separate values file, which can be opened into the Microsoft Excel, which is there in every organization. Or if you don't have, then you can use the Google spreadsheet to open this. This is a comma separated value file. It can be opened into any spreadsheet software. So if you select this, you can view the preview of your budget. Here you can see here is our limit 0.01, which is represented by red dash line, and currently actual cost is 0, so it is colliding with the 0 line. So that's all in this video. See you guys in the next video. Till then, take care.